Hello, interwebs. It's been a long time. I'm glad to see you. I am kcStranger. I am joined by my three hale, healthy, and hearty players. And
Turgid?
this
Can we throw in turgid?
only on weekends, but and
Detergent?
Thursdays.
Turgid.
Yeah.
Detergent.
Turgid.
This is the Crystal Tomb. As always, the Crystal Tomb is brought to you by XSplit Broadcaster and by Tractor Blonde. Last time, the party made their way up from the basement of the Ashal Fortress of Ursun, and after a few minutes of waffling, attempted to pass themselves off as Ashal. Kaleem's zombies unfortunately gave the ruse away, and at that point, fighting began. But between Tirsa's psychic scream and Kaleem's meteor swarm, the fight ended almost as quickly as it began. Fallon and Gamork unleashed a swarm of wolves, which Innis actually upped to 64 in total. The party was temporarily blinded as they were struck with a sunburst spell from an Ashal leader who used the Gauntlet of Suffusion to cast a spell at a distance. However, between the assault of wolves, the destruction wreaked by the meteor swarm, the fort was thrown into turmoil, and the Ashal's defenses broke down. It turned out that outside the fortress, Indomitable was leading a ragtag collection of forces assembled by the Assholes, a resistance group the party had met in Balhir. Balls and asses. Anyways, impressively, they had assembled the capability to cast a wide area anti-magic field, which they used to disable most of the Ashal's abilities and overrun the fortress. The party recovered from their blindness, greeted Indomitable, and left to recover the remaining vestiges. Oh my gosh. Innis stayed behind, promising to Kane that she would remain to answer his questions, which he totally remembers. First, the party confronted Signy Meadowbark, a cleric of Algadir. She recognized Indomitable's victory, surrendered the Chalice of Prosperity to Fallon, then vanished in shadowy flames as she spoke a prayer to Algadir. Then, the party confronted Ensalar Askanon, wielder of the Gauntlet of Suffusion and leader of the Ashal. He was quickly cut down as Fallon brandished the axe of Sundering in wrath, and his wolves tore the man apart. And actually, at this point, Fallon, remember, you are... again, this is not a personality overhaul or anything, but in any circumstance where wrath is an emotion, or if you will, a vice that you might feel, you will be slightly tinged towards that.
Got it.
Turning to his frightened servant, Perias, the party heard the tale of how Ensalar had escaped slavery under the Javit, found the Gauntlet of Suffusion, and how his rise to power had corrupted him. The party offered the terrified Perias to go with them or to leave on his own, and he perhaps understandably elected to take his leave if possible. However, the looting of the fortress came first. We left off last time as the party gathered a variety of items from the fortress, placing them in a newfound bag of holding. And actually, at this point, I would like to offer everyone... in between sessions, I gave you all some spoils of war, some gems mostly, I think. I would like to offer everyone the chance to make one more roll to see if you find anything good. This can be either a perception or an investigation check, your choice.
What a difficult choice for Kane. Which one shall I roll? Perception at +9 or investigation at -1? Come on, first roll back. First roll back. Pretty good.
Great. Good golly, Miss Molly.
All right. I will start with Fallon.
Can't wait to see that fanfic there.
Gamork rolled an 18. He loves treasure.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I will take the higher of yours and Gamork's rolls. All right. So, Fallon, you find... Oh, did I not bring out that die? Yeah, sorry, just a sec.
I could feel the tubes if I touched my neck.
There we go. Fallon, you discover a platinum bracelet set with a sapphire. That will be 0.5 pounds. And it's worth 2,500 gold pieces. You also let me see here. Let me see.
Scrolled way up in the chat and saw that there was Jacinth next to my name.
That's a gem.
12 gemstones worth 5,000 gold pieces each, weighing 4.4 pounds. I don't see that on my character sheet.
He added that between sessions.
Yeah. If you don't have that on your character sheet, then please add it. You also discover a potion of speed. So this is going to be 0.2. No, I think they made those also 0.5 pounds. What have I been making potions?
Let's see. Let me look. Well, I see 0.2 for a lot of mine. All my potions are 0.2.
Okay, yeah. So that'll be 0.2 as well. And it gives you a haste effect for 1 minute. So it's the effect of a haste spell. All right, next we've got Kane. Kane rolled a 24.
Brave has dirt on him.
So Kane, you discover for it. A jeweled gold crown worth 7,500 GP. That weighs 2 pounds.
No! No, Casey, why is it 2 pounds?
7,500 GP though. You also, let me see here. Let me see.
Casey knows what weaknesses.
You also discover a cloak of arachnida.
Cool.
Let me see.
Is it made out of spiders? Because that would be great for Kane.
It's very much spider themed.
I saw a video today of some Australians. They sprayed the underside of the car door handle, and these fucking legs start coming out from under the handle, and then just this giant fucking spider just falls out from under there, and just fuck Australia. Like, I can't live there ever.
The cloak is going to be, I'm just going to call it 2 pounds.
I'm going to need clarification on how much Jacinth I have.
And if you wear it, it does require attunement. Should you decide to use it, it gives a number of benefits, including.
I'm not gonna wear it, so you're not gonna tell me.
What?
I'm not gonna wear it. You're not gonna tell me.
Yeah, that's fine. But you found it, and it's a magical item. You could potentially sell it later. It's a nest egg.
Fallon doesn't have a cloak.
For what it's worth, it's like mobility, web stuff, resistance to poison, climbing speed. You can kind of imagine.
Oh wait. But my +1 to all my saves.
It's probably not your best cloak, but you have it now. And let me see. Colleen, you get an embroidered glove set with jewel. I don't actually know what this means, but with jewel chips, worth 2,500 GP. and weighing a pound. No, I'm gonna, let me see, gloves. I'm gonna call
Gold
it,
gloves.
I'm gonna call it point. How much do gloves weigh? Oh no, it's a glove. Okay, yeah, it weighs a pound. And yeah, and you also.
They're really thick gloves, like what Mickey Mouse wears.
Oh,
Ha ha ha! Hey, Pluto.
oh, poor Goofy. That's really crazy. You killed all of these wolves in here?
That's actually what Alcadir sounds like.
It's just
You didn't
Vagar.
tell me that Gabork is the leader of your group? He's known as the
Hey,
Wolf
that's
King.
just true.
Oh,
Mm.
Did y'all watch the South Park?
Okay,
Pandemic
and you also
special?
get a potion of flying.
What?
honestly, the potion of speed is
So
better,
0.2
probably better.
pounds and lasts 1
Probably better.
hour. And as you can imagine, it makes you fly. All right. So
Hey, guess what, PC?
I can't scroll up in the chat anymore. Damn it! Y'all quit typing.
So those are some of the better goodies that you can sort of find and take along with you. Anything else that you find is gonna, if you want to search for anything else in particular, it's gonna be maybe more story or flavor relevant. Those are gonna be the most valuable items that you find. At this time, then, let us go back into role play.
Okay, hold on.
Colin has a question.
Oh yeah, okay.
So it said that there were 12 gems worth 5,000 gold pieces each at the top of the chat. I can't see that part anymore. Oh wait, maybe I can. But it said weighing 0.4 pounds each, and then it said Fallon, Jacinth, Kane.
Yeah.
Somebody got black sapphires and Kane got diamonds, and then so does that mean? Did I just get one Jacinth, or is that like the 12 were the different?
No, you got. I think.
Did I get 4?
If it was like.
Did any of you guys record these on your character sheet?
Yeah, but there wasn't a number next to him. It just said diamond.
No. You. The idea was that you all get 12.
Oh, each 12.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And is each one weigh 0.4?
Yeah.
What?
How you doing, Kane?
Jim
You
weighs
You have a second bag of holding, guys.
Hey, let me carry that burden for you, Doug.
I have a second bag of holding.
I know, it was a joke. From
I'm encumbered, by the way. I was encumbered before this revelation, but now I'm more encumbered. Alright,
I gave you a second bag of holding.
Bag of holding dose.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm putting my shit in there. What was the weight limit for a bag of holding?
200 pounds.
Alright, we're still good.
Yeah, you got room to work with there.
You put him in a cloak that makes him climb on walls. Like, that'd be nice, but I have this cloak here that lets me do saves, and if I roll at 20s, at some point it'll reflect a fucking spell on somebody. It hasn't
I
yet.
might want a fancy cloak. I don't have a cloak.
Yeah, no, there was a small chance of getting something better than what you guys already had on that roll, but not a large one.
Cloak.
Anything else before we dive back more into the roleplay?
Let's dive. Dive.
Why does nothing ever reflect back on the casters, Casey?
So, well, it did once, but then it reflected back the other way again because Quiz had an ability. So I imagine that during this time, y'all have sort of been wandering the halls of this fort, sort of on the lookout for any valuables. You would hear a general commotion and see just like occasional random individuals bustling about, a number of them looting as well. Perios, who's with you, sort of has a tightly controlled sort of stoicism about him, as he just sort of doesn't really volunteer much information, but leads you all around and doesn't seem to be hiding anything. Finally, you do sort of, wrap up your tour so far. As you start to head back towards the main hall, Colleen, Dom actually sort of strolls up next to you and says in kind of a low voice, but not a whisper. There's well, I'm sure you've seen all the bodies around the fortress.
What about the bodies, Dom?
He looks at you and says, well, my understanding is you're the sort who would waste not, so to speak. I knew someone who knew a trick once, and he holds out a spell scroll that he must have picked up at some point, and sort of sideways holds it over to you.
What's this?
Take a look.
I look at it.
All right. It is a scroll of demiplane.
Demiplane. I'll have to look that up. I can't say I've ever used demiplane before.
I nudge Fallon and I'm just like, it's the weirdest flirting ever.
Dom does not acknowledge you. So here is the demiplane spell. You create a shadowy door on a flat solid surface that you can see within range. It's range 60 feet, action to cast. The door is large enough to allow medium creatures to pass through unhindered. When opened, it leads to a demiplane that appears to be an empty room 30 feet in each dimension, made of wood or stone. When the spell ends, the door disappears. Any creatures or objects inside the demiplane remain trapped there, and the door also disappears from the other side. And each time you cast the spell, you can create a new plane or have the shadowy door connect to a demiplane you created with a previous casting. Additionally, if you know the nature and contents of a demiplane created by a casting of the spell by another creature, you can have the shadowy door connect to its demiplane instead.
So I could put skeletons in a closet and bring the closet wherever I want if I have enough demiplanes.
That is a possibility.
That's what I'm getting out of this.
You have a Mr. Meeseeks box?
Yeah, exactly. Ooh.
What level is demiplane?
It's kind of both, Jerry.
Level. Yeah.
Well, which is it? Keep my elbows straight or my head down?
It's pretty high
kind of
level.
both, Jerry.
Ooh, 8. Okay, so you're doing it all willy-nilly.
Dom just sort of looks at you and says, I can see the wheels turning. And he sort of sidles away from you back to where he was walking before.
Colleen, do you need more dead people?
Well, it does take a little bit of time, and I'm most concerned that we may not have the time to gather more friends.
Yeah, we should go ahead and do the whole ritual thing. To an on-gird.
All right, so at this point, you'll make your way out of the hallway you were going through and into the now rather ruined mess hall.
Dog shit everywhere.
I'm thinking about this. So the normal time on Create Animals is going to be, you know what?
They're lined up in ranks.
Innis enhanced it. I'm going to let them persist for a little bit longer.
Gamork barks and they stand at attention.
They stand in rows as you enter.
Yes. Yeah. They kneel when Gamork walks by. Down on one knee.
Yeah, so you all walk through the double row of wolves and make your way up to this platform where Innis is still seated. As you walk up, she looks over at you, Kane, and says, As promised, still here.
Forgot what I was going to ask you.
She nods. Mm-hmm.
Hey, don't be like that. You were forgetful too for a while.
Are you gonna ask her where she's been, or
She raises her head a little bit and looks at you and says, "You have a point. Fair enough."
I feel like it's been weeks since I seen you.
She says, in fact, it is rather difficult to track the time.
I'm sure I remember
Very much.
eventually what I was going to ask you. But until then, we should go to Anangar. Finish doing this whole stop the tentacle creatures thing.
Very well. She looks at the rest of you. Do you have any other business here?
Oh, and he's coming with us. I point at Perius.
He looks
Perius
somewhat
and
concerned for a moment and looks at you and says, with your pardon,
Are you going to
can I no
refuse a
longer
god,
go on my way?
Perius? This is a god.
remind us what your way is?
Says, I'm sure I'll figure something out.
You going to refuse a god?
He looks over at Innes and she's like, I'm not telling you to do anything.
No, yes, you are.
Sorry, Kane.
No, I wanted a new friend. I'm healthy.
In fact, I can probably help him along his way if you all don't have any problem with that. She sort of smiles.
Goodbye, Perius.
You break my heart, Perius.
He nods a little bit and says, thank you for your courtesy.
Slap his ass.
And then Innes says, where would you like to go? And he says, what? Menon should be fine. And Innes says, very well. She walks up to him, touches him on the back of his hand, and he disappears.
Gotta get slapping.
Something like that. Innes looks around at the rest of you. Her eyes actually finally settling on Dom. The two of them stare at each other for a bit of an extended moment. And she finally says, in a bit of a cool voice, and as for you, where will you be going?
I want to insight check that stare down.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Not high enough because they're both fucking godlike.
No, actually, like, they clearly don't like each other.
Woo! I figured something out. I'm gonna whisper to Glenn. They don't each other.
Well, we do seem to run into the most polarizing of characters.
That should tell you something about Dom. Just by the, for the record.
I actually can't hear what you're whispering.
Okay, this is whispered. That should tell you something about Dom. That Innes doesn't like him.
Dom says, I had an agreement with these individuals that I would leave them to fulfill their errand. She nods slowly and then sort of gestures a little bit. Well then. Dom looks back at the rest of you and says, well then, It's been an interesting, month? Few months?
I don't even know,
suppose that's
man.
it then.
Yep, good luck with your, stuff.
He nods. He nods to you, Kane, then to Fallon, then to Gamork, Tirsa. Finally, Colleen, he looks at you and says, and sort of gestures towards Innes. She can help with, raising a large group of friends. I'm sure if you ask nicely, she'll pitch in.
Oh God,
Well,
no.
thank you, Dom, but I really wish you would be with us for the rest of the journey.
Roll a
What?
persuasion check.
No, what? No, 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 nope,
Why are you so against this?
nope. Can I roll like an anti-persuasion check?
A slightly miffed check.
Yeah. Let me think. Roll performance, I guess, or
Persuasion's so
persuasion.
high.
You can roll persuasion to be like, no,
Good
no,
for him.
why? At disadvantage. All right.
Thank
As you say that, Colleen, Indomitable looks at you for a long moment. His expression completely neutral. And then his eyes gaze past you. His expression grows almost wistful, and his shoulders slump. You realize for the first time since you've met him, he looks at you and says, Look, what I mean to say is... And then, before he can continue his thought, his body twists convulsively, painfully, you think. He intakes breath sharply. As you watch, his eyes turn a milky green, pale streaks lance through his hair, his body turns bent and misshapen. A faint but foul odor pervades the space around him, and shadows seem to roil off of him. His bearing is still powerful, but he looks gaunt and deathly, and even to be near him is to be filled with unease. You're still taking all this in when, just over his shoulder, a streak of fire lances vertically through the space beside him, widening into a shadowy oval. And through that oval, you realize a doorway steps a man. He's not especially tall, but everything in his build and bearing suggests power. His skin is utterly black, against which the dark gray of his teeth, eyes, and horns seem to glisten white. His fingers are decorated in rings, and he wears a robe of midnight blue. And as he speaks, his voice is calm and satisfied. Finally, for so long this one has resisted my command. At last you've proved that he is only human, and for that I must thank you.
Are
Who
there
the fuck are
two
you?
of you?
The avatar of Alkadir walks towards you, extends his hand, and says, I am Alkadir. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. And your name is? He looks at you, Colleen.
I'm Colleen Liraya.
Colleen. Pleasure. He looks
Hi, I'm
over.
Fallon.
Wait, what?
Hi, I'm Fallon.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Where are my manners? Fallon, and his eyes slip over Kane. And your wolf is?
Gamork.
Gamork. his eyes come back. Oh, yes, and you are? He looks at you, Kane.
Kane, would
Tirsa,
you do
he keeps looking around. Quite the army you've assembled here. It's been a while since I've seen so many wolves. Oh, and of course, hello, sister. He looks at Ennis. She nods, sighs a little bit, and says, hello, Alkadir.
Are you all siblings? Or is it just you two?
It's all of us.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure.
Alkadir's just the one with the biggest head about him.
What'd you do to Dom?
Fallon sizes up Alkadir's head.
Says, it's more what he did to himself. No mortal can command the vestiges forever. Only for as long. And actually, wait, I have to remember. Oh. Only for as long as they can remain utterly free of any doubt about what they are doing. This one maintained that for many, many years. I had to give him the gift of immortality to see the end of it. But in the end, I have to thank you. He looks at you.
Sorry?
Colleen, you devil.
Colleen, as you say that, Indomitable, which doesn't feel like the right name for him anymore, but he lifts his head towards you. You see his green eyes stare out towards you, but actually, again, for the first time since you met him, his mouth turns up into like a very genuine looking smile. And he says, it's okay, Colleen. Perhaps in the end I found something of myself. Right, says Alkadir. Anyways, I've got places to be. Come along. He looks back. Dom sort of hesitates and says, and Alkadir finally says, fine, I'll give you a moment, but then be along. And he steps through the portal.
I think this is what they call irony.
You have to now kiss the crypt keeper, which sounds like right up your alley there.
Dom straightens himself a bit. He does once again appear altogether more gaunt. He seemed very powerful before, and he still seems powerful now, but now he seems like someone who's thousands of years old. And he looks at you, Colleen, and says, my name is Volodya Blackiron. My wife was Elena. My son was named Erden. I think I was happy back then for a time. Thanks for introducing me to the loot, I guess.
Are you going to be okay?
He smiles a bit and says, I'll be as okay as I ever was.
Well, that doesn't sound very okay to me.
He he actually gives sort of a deep laugh at that and says, I don't think I was ever meant to be the simple kind of happy that most people, well, no, that most people seem to strive for. He shrugs and says, I don't know. He looks back. Maybe he's not all bad. Innes looks sort of askance at Dom. He says, okay, maybe he'll let me keep the loot and I won't be miserable. And at that, Innes sort of shrugs and nods. And he says, at any rate, I'm satisfied with myself for once.
And you feel there's nothing left that you need to do?
Oh, there are so many things I'd like to do, but...
Hey, Dom, just for the record, since we're being honest, were you gonna take the messages from us after we did our thing, if we didn't all die?
Oh, I was certainly going to try.
Called it. I knew it.
But...
I just, like, look at Colleen. Like, see?
Look, this might seem like a rather sudden change of heart, but... Look, I had the slightest bit of doubt for a tiny moment, and then that asshole came in and, well, you saw it happen. So, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to be a good person out of spite now. Alright?
That's the spirit.
Right. So, you go save the world or whatever, from the temporals or whatever.
Yep. Now eat everything.
Right. It never made a goddamn lick of sense to me. No offense. He looks at Innes. And the fire.
But I explained it to you perfectly. I couldn't have been any clearer.
A rush of heat boils out of the fiery portal behind Dom. He says, I think my new patron is becoming impatient. He looks around and finally settles one last time on you, Colleen. Is there anything else that needs to be said?
How will I be able to find you again?
He thinks for a moment, then says, well, if you have any friends in the Nine Hells, I'm sure you'll find a way.
That we can do. Hey, Fallon.
So we both look at Fallon like
Right then. I guess I need to be off. He turns around and says, and because I'm getting sentimental... You know what? No, the feeling disappeared just as quickly as it came. Goodbye.
So dumb of him.
He steps through the portal, and it closes behind him with a final hiss.
See, Colleen, you were right about him. He was gonna like betray us. Well, not technically. He kept his word. But he was gonna steal the messages.
I was right about him, Kane. There was something else greater in him besides just
and
the
he was
artifacts.
still. Yeah, and because you brought it out of him, he's now stuck in hell.
We can get him out.
No. What? No. He still wants the vestiges.
Let's just all agree that I was correct, that there was no big deal breaking all those seals.
See, exactly. Easy enough to get in and out of hell. In and out. It'll be quick.
I mean, we don't have to see old BK anymore.
I'm not helping you get him out of the hells. Like, that's all you, fam.
In and out.
I'm not going to hell. I got it.
20 minutes in and out.
Exactly.
Go to the Nine Hells. I don't like him. I got a kid. It just if we live through this, I'm done, guys. Just heads up.
I'm sorry, no, I'm supposed to be running this game, but I love this so much. Continue, please.
If I somehow don't die here, which I fully expect to die in this tentacle fight or whatever,
Hey,
I'm done. I'm gonna go take the kid, gonna go find a nice secluded farm or some shit like that. I don't know. I figure
gotta have
something out.
dreams, Kane.
Yeah, so I'm not going to the Nine Hells with you to break out a guy that was gonna steal from us anyway, and who... No, I don't, nope. You have your little undead posse. You can do it yourself.
I fully intend to, but it'd be a shame if we didn't have, well, a Kane with us.
Fallon looks at Colleen like, "Are you serious right now?"
I think the magic's got into her head. Yup, lost it.
Fallon said, "See, even Kane knows."
So, I go look at it. So, Anonir.
Right. There's something I
James
actually
Finn.
want to ask about. She looks over at you, Colleen, and says, Dom mentioned something about asking me for a favor. I'm actually kind of curious. Did he have something in particular in mind?
Well, I think he wanted to, make use of the former battlefield.
Okay, I
And
know you're a necromancer, but...
what if we spice it up a little bit?
Please, no spicy zombies.
Oh
She
no,
thinks for a
illusory
moment. Do you have a
zombies.
specific plan in mind?
Not at all.
Have you met
None
Glenn?
whatsoever.
No, legitimately level with me, Colleen. Really, it's okay. I'm not a Veet, I'm not Zephy. You can level with me.
No plan, really. Just, morbid curiosity.
Yeah, no, Colleen is the smartest person that doesn't plan that I've ever met.
Wasn't he telling you that Colleen could make lots of dead people for you to put in your little boxes?
Yeah, that is what I was referring to. Although if Colleen doesn't want to go there, then we'll not do anything.
That was my in-character nudge.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Well, it's a scroll, so it only works once. I would need multiple.
You can't learn it?
Well, it would take some time.
Like 45 minutes?
No. A little bit longer than that.
Okay, Innes says, alright, I'm catching on. So the point is, you have something that you could do, but you don't have enough time, right?
Correct.
Okay, well, that's
Well, I
not a
assume.
problem. Innes says, give me a moment. Whatever your long plan is, I'm sure you'll have plenty of time for it. Innes steps down and says, never mind me. I'll be minding my own business. Just, don't leave the fort, okay?
Don't leave the fort.
And start doing whatever your plan is. I'm sure you'll have enough time.
But do I have the money is the question to learn a level 8.
You very much do.
Yeah,
Somewhere.
probably. Let's see.
So to go ahead and speed this along, what's going to happen is Innes is going to cast a bit of an enchantment on the area. Let me think here. Yeah, okay. That's actually just going to speed up the spell casting and spell recovery. Oh, it's actually going to speed up the spell recovery process. So what you're going to find is, as you go through this, when you cast your spells, you regenerate your spell slots very quickly. So you can just cast them one after another in quick succession.
Anyone else see the bio break?
We can break if you need to. Also, I'll be working out some mechanical stuff with Colleen, so if you want to run right now, it's a
Cool.
good time. Yep.
So
What do you
Demiplane says it lasts only an hour. So can we make a giant zombie bomb?
Yeah, that's basically the idea. You'll lose control over them.
Yeah,
So
but we'll
that's
just
something to
unleash them
consider.
on the world.
Yeah, but you can choose where to drop them, and they'll probably just attack whatever's closest.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
Okay.
Perfect
So
kind of irresponsible choice.
so I did some rough math on the amount of bodies that you could work with. So roll 42d6.
42.
Yeah.
Okay. Just gotta think about it.
Okay.
Okay.
So you have that many bodies to work with.
All right. Can they be these empowered zombies, or can I only do like a?
No, you can do the empowered. That's fine.
What about ghouls?
Yeah. Let me think about what would be appropriate here. Let me see your character sheet real quick. That's probably a good place to leave it because, like with your create undead, you can make even higher level things than ghouls. So I'm just gonna say, as sort of a middle point, you can just make them all ghouls if you want.
Okay, that's fine.
Cool.
Sounds hilarious.
All right. So just make a note somewhere, and I will make a note somewhere as well. That Clean has a demiplane loaded with what? Actually, wait a minute. Let me check something real quick. How many? So it's 30 feet by 30 feet. Okay, yeah. So you could totally pack 154 of them in there, but
Love it.
it's kind of an orgy. But all right. What kind are you making?
Make them all rogues. Why not?
All right, 154 rogue ghouls. Exciting.
Terrifying.
She does not have. Oh, actually, let me ask. Do you want to subtract any from that number in order to have ones that are accompanying you, or do you want to stick with just the 2 that you have for that?
Oh. Okay,
Or do you want to
so
load anything from your current into that?
I want to take 4 of them, but
Okay.
I want one of them to be the skeleton of some of my failures.
Okay. All right. So wait. So what does that leave you with in terms of undead that you're currently toting?
Well, I've got 1 rogue ghoul and 1 rogue zombie left
Okay.
on the map,
Yep.
so that would be 6 total.
Okay.
Right.
So you're just taking 4 more. 3 rogue ghouls and a rogue
And
skeleton.
1 skeleton, yeah.
All right. Sure. I'll allow it. Okay, and you've got actually exactly 150
Yep.
inside the demiplane, which is a nice round number. Cool.
Some of my failures, there he is in all of his glory.
Wait a minute. Where is some of your failures? I'm trying to find it on the. Oh wait, do I need to put the token on the map?
He had a unique token, I think.
Yeah. And then we'll wait for Kane to get back before we proceed. And I thought, oh yeah, there he is.
There's a big one underneath the ghouls. Which I
Oh,
think is the one that you dropped in there.
there you go.
Oh, yes, Fallon, here's my shirt. You were asking about.
It is a raccoon with, is that a
Yeah.
bow?
Yeah, it's got sparkles and
Actually, I may
text
as well take advantage of Kyrian's bio break
text on the
since he's
bottom
not back.
says
I'll be right back.
trashed but fabulous. It's just not
Nice.
like
Sweet.
I'm back.
Casey just left.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm getting close to medication time, so the DI is kicking in.
What is DI?
Diabetes insipidus.
Oh, fun.
So
what?
it's like a chemical imbalance and like a sodium imbalance and some chemical that like makes it so you can't retain water. So you feel really thirsty and you
Yeah.
pee a lot.
Lame.
But none of it like it doesn't get like processed. It just like goes straight through you. It is only 20,000 cases a year in the U.S. So I looked out when I got that after the surgery.
Hell yeah.
Like when they first realized I had DI when I because I had pee bottles, but they had measurements, and like in like an hour I peed like 2 liters.
That makes me think of
that's
that
exciting.
scene from Dumb and
And they were
Dumber
like,
where they're peeing on the road and policeman pulls them over and demands them to hand a beer bottle over.
Oh,
All
I remember
right.
that scene now.
yeah. And I was telling you about the condition I developed as a result of the surgery, which was diabetes insipidus. It's fun stuff. Makes me have to pee a lot. I got out of control medication, but when I start getting towards medication time, I start having to pee, and I get thirsty.
All right. So speaking of thirsty, I'm thirsty to get back to the game. Yeah, so all that gets tended to. Over the next few hours, you watch Colleen sort of usher various ghouls into the, or she actually come to think of it, y'all are going to be here overnight for one night while Colleen is working on this. You sleep. Colleen sleeps as well, but not as much as the rest of you. Eventually, at the end of it, she sort of has things tended to. You do see Tirsa actually tending to Fiona Emberwisp, who seemed in kind of rough shape when you guys found her. I mean, Fallon's heal helped a bit, but still taking care of her. You might catch Piotric, the sort of very hardy halfling who you ran into, wrestling with various assholes. Yeah, anyways, that group name that I came up with. Yeah, you spend the night. You wake up the next morning. You assemble a bit of a breakfast from basically looting the fortress. And finally, you all gather ready to go. The goddess Innis looks at you and says, "Well, staying on the material plane seems not to have done me a whole lot of good. So I'm thinking I should probably get back, but before I do, I can certainly help you all along your way. I gather that there's a ship some ways away with your companions, yes?"
If you say so, I don't recall.
Yeah. Remember, you sailed over here.
So, we climbed up the side or something?
Yeah, exactly. So it was a few newish people, or no, Osicrin was the dwarf who owned the ship. Honel, who Kane knew from a while, was sort of like working with him. And then also Tuli and Zena are there.
These could be all new names and I wouldn't know.
You know who Tuli is, at least.
I know. And Xena, warrior princess.
Indeed. So, and it says, so unless you wish some other course. Oh, and all the wolves are gone now too. I'm going to leave this map how it is for posterity, but it's down.
I accidentally deleted a row of the wolves last time. I remember that. I was upset.
She says, "Is there anything else you would ask before I, well, if you will, before I help you along your way?"
You can't just put us at the ritual chamber in a non-druid?
It was an accident. I'm sorry.
She says, "The laws of magic dictate that teleportation only works within a given plane. That would be plane hopping." She descends into. She starts to ramble a bit, and you sort of start to lose the thread as she explains the various laws of magic. You see,
Crossover.
you see Colleen nodding along. And finally, Anna says, "And so I could, as you can see, but it wouldn't exactly be kosher."
So no.
More or less.
Okay.
Also, you wouldn't want to leave your friends stranded, right?
Could
You like
Just
your
good point.
daughter, Kane?
Shh, I forgot about the goat too, okay?
All right then. Anything
Just
before
like
I take you on your
your
way?
father. Just like
No.
your father, Kane.
What could you? Is there any kind of like protection magic you could like, or like some like something so that if things don't go well, it like automatically teleports somebody to a different plane?
She looks at you and says,
Really grasping for
"Okay,
straws.
so something of a combination of contingency and teleportation. That's an interesting idea, Kane. I'll get right to work on it. But not right now."
Well,
"Look,"
would
she
you be
says,
able?
"I can do a lot of things, but there are rules with gods. You understand. Anyways, let me help you along your way." She walks over to a busted out window and says, "Tavrith, they're ready." And then she comes back to you and says, "All right, if you go outside, Tavrith will take you back to the ship."
You didn't wait.
I helped
I think you
you.
got teleported. You. I could have done that. I could have yelled for Tavrith.
She smiles and says, "Look, I wouldn't want you to go thinking that..." And let me actually think about how I want to say this. "I wouldn't want you to go thinking that I'm here at your beck and call, after all. Although," and she smiles more genuinely, "I do really appreciate everything you've done."
You're welcome.
"Right then, see you on the other side." And she disappears.
Cade sticks his head out the window.
Like a dog.
Tavrith is down there looking up at you. You're like a few stories up. He's pretty tall. You wind up looking down like 20 feet at him.
Hey, Tavrith.
"Lou Kane."
So should we come down to you, or like?
"Well, there's more space out here. Probably makes more sense that way."
Okay. All right, guys, you gotta go down to Tavrith.
All right. So you all make your way down to the Golden Dragon Tavrith. He does grumble a bit as he realizes quite how many passengers he has. You know, you have found Piotric and Fiona, and Colleen is toting now 6 undead with her. but he bears it, and you'll settle in as he flaps his wings and flies up over the tundra. You take off away from the fort. You fly for several hours, making significantly faster progress than, especially that bit where you walked in, but even then the Quetzalcoatluses. Or actually, I guess it'd be similar. Finally, as the sun is starting to get low towards the evening hours, you make your way to the cliff where you docked your ship. Tavrith sort of grumbles once again. He says, "That water looks cold. Whatever." He swoops down and lands in the water next to the ship, stretching his back up so that you can step off. And he says, "All right, everybody off. This isn't exactly pleasant."
I get off, but then I take out the bangle for fire, and like it's like on fire, right? So like I try to like use it to like help warm him up, keep it warm.
You know, you like objectively, you might not think that would do much, but as you touch it to him, you actually see the area where you touch it sort of glow a bit, and you see that glow spread just a touch. Finally, you all do pile off. And Tavrith flaps his wings, hovers up a bit over the ship, then transforms and drops onto the deck. Kane, he looks at you for a moment and says, "Is that you?" Or actually, no. Would he even know? No, he wouldn't be able to see. Never mind. He just sort of looks around with a bit of a curious expression on his face for a moment.
I still got the bangle out. Like, are you still cold? And I kind of like hold it towards him.
Who's that Storm Treader guy that we met a long time ago? Sorry.
Oh, he took off after he guided you to the fortress.
No, he was like a ruler or somebody somewhere. Ethnos.
Oh, yeah, he was one of the like government people in
Do you remember his
Einon
name?
Green. Yeah. I mean, you don't know that he ever left. His name was Emil Stormtreader.
Okay.
Kane, Tavrith walks over to you, sort of reaches out for. No, wait a minute. When you say bangle, oh yeah. So have you turned it into the fire wheel? Okay. He reaches out and looks up at you as if to say, "May I?"
Yeah.
What is the name of the greater world? We were in Einengrun.
You're in Gavila. He reaches out and takes it from you. Sort of holds it for a bit. You see, again, just sort of a very subtle glow spread over him as he holds it. Says, "Interesting item. Well, this belongs to your hoard after all." And he hands it back. "Thank you for letting me borrow it for a moment."
No problem. And I turn it back into the bangle in front of him and look see if he like reacts.
I have a ring of warmth, I think.
Just a slight raised eyebrow.
I surprised Thomas. Ha.
All right.
Kane, fish farmer, surprised an ancient golden dragon.
You showed him something he's never seen before.
Yeah.
All right. So at this point, unless y'all want to go anywhere different, you are going to be taking your boat from sort of in this direction, more or less. I mean, obviously not going overland, but this is the direction you're going to be going. So this...
I want to check out Lonz's.
What?
Right here.
Right where?
Oh.
Check out that city. It sounds interesting.
Yeah, let's go that way.
Can't get there by boat. Well, I guess you could ride the river.
There's a river.
Is the whatever magic was obfuscating the path back gone, or can
No, it's still
we just
there.
follow the mirror? We just follow the mirror.
That's the idea.
Are we going back to Nangru now?
Such
Look at-
people as are gathered on the deck, which is most
I look-
people at this point, sort of look around at each other. And
Look
then
at Bella.
Thule finally says, I think that was the plan, right?
Cool. I take out the looking glass.
All right. You see a thread of red crystal leading southward.
I point that way.
Ossicron, who's the ship captain, comes over, and reminder, he's a dwarf. He comes by and sort of looks at it, looks out at the sea, and says, "What do you have there, Kane?"
A very, very rare and powerful artifact.
Is that what I think it is?
Who's asking?
Ossicron, the dwarf who's the ship captain.
Can I insight check the ship captain? What?
Talking
What do we?
Yeah,
what
sure.
do we do
Insight
this?
check him.
What? What do you do after? What is he thinking? What does he know about this shit?
Also, give me a history check, Kane.
Your history check.
Thank you.
Well, a chemistry check.
Okay. He seems to have guessed what it might be. He seems curious more than anything. And with your history check, you would know that the existence and general nature of Cyphera is actually well known throughout Anon Green because it's sort of part of the history of all the people who initially traveled there.
I narrow my eyes.
But outside, like in Gavlo, would everybody know that?
It is.
No, not necessarily, but he's from Anon Green.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
know that.
Oh, the dwarf is?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All the people you're with are originally from Anon Green. There's like literally no one with you at this point who is not from Anon Green.
Was the dwarf part
Except
of how
for-
we got out of there?
Well, yeah, no, all of you. What?
Wait, did he come with us?
No,
Did he
he
come
was
with
the
us
one
from
who
the
brought Tirsa out. He and Hanel
okay,
and
okay,
Tirsa
okay.
and Tuli and Zaina left together when
Ew.
things were going to shit.
Ew. Okay, we're all caught up now.
Yep.
But Kane, because I've already committed, Kane narrows his eyes at him. What do you think it is?
Well, I think it's Cyphera. Am I right?
That way!
Well then, just he thinks for a moment. I think we have a few days travel before I'll need your help, but you will come help me navigate when the time comes, yes?
Yes.
All right. So you all set sail. Ossicron and Hano work in shifts, employing the rest of you from time to time as you make your way southward. Let me see here. Right. And as the days pass, the chill wind warms as you sail south. The sun shines above you. Aside from basic maintenance of the ship, you pass the days in a tense sort of relaxation, with nothing to do for the moment, but with your errand of the last half a year at this point, maybe more, culminating in what lies ahead.
I spent time with my daughter!
Yeah, so at this point, let me just go in turns. And for what it's worth, you don't have to have anything in particular. But there's going to be a journey. There's going to be a journey of about 10 days before, 8 days before things really start to pick up. Fallon, are you looking to do anything in particular during that time?
Hold on. What could I do? Can I study my magic moss and white green plant and see what I can do with it, and maybe write more letters to Anya?
Okay, yeah, absolutely. I have to remind myself what those things are real quick. Just a sec. I'm pulling up your character sheet.
They're towards the bottom of my inventory.
Okay, when did you... Oh, those were... That
Wasn't
was...
a moss from like the Fae or something? Or no, that was just... I feel like I'm associating lightning with the moss. I don't know why. That could be completely nonsense.
Okay, so I remember you like took a walk at one point. Maybe it was when you were in the Feywild and just picked some random things. The moss was what turned into the true seeing potion. Let me... Oh, you know what? I do remember. Okay, just a sec. It's going to take me just a moment, but I can find my notes on the plant.
I also have something in my inventory called magic clothes.
It's probably the warmth clothes. I'm not 100% on that, but that feels right. Wait a minute. Oh, it was before. Let me, sorry, it's just that. What was his name? I'm trying to remember. So when you all were in the Feywild, and you were at that dude's house, like who had the cottage and the daughter and stuff like that. I cannot remember.
I remember that. I don't remember the name.
Oh, Kane was trying to quantify, like, what was it, luck or something that he wanted?
Happiness.
Yeah, Kane was trying to quantify that amount of happiness he wanted.
Right, exactly. And for the life of me, cannot remember.
My nose is tingling now.
If I can't find it soon, I'll give up, but kind of annoyed. Oh, I know how to find it. All right, sorry, just a second.
I won't give up if you don't give up.
It's gonna be...
So Radiclus.
Yes.
You like
What's
football?
that? It's okay.
You watch it?
I watched the YouTube, like, you know, the football's in play for 11 minutes of every game.
Mm-hmm.
So I just watched the YouTube, like, condensed synopsis of the best plays in a game.
Oh.
And that's really only because I'm super bored and can do nothing else.
Understandable. Who's your team?
I don't have one.
You don't?
Yeah, I don't really care about the Texans.
I thought maybe you'd be a Dallas Cowboys guy.
When I was a kid, I was, but, you know, I don't really care anymore.
Unfortunately, I'm an Atlanta fan.
College football would be more my speed, but my team has been sandbagged real hard for this several years now. So
all my teams make me sad.
I can't find it, So I am going to.
It's okay. It's not that big of a deal. I just thought I
Well,
could.
no. That being said, I'm gonna. If you would like to try to use it, I think you might have like a. Yeah, you have an herbalism kit. If you want to try to do anything with that, then just make a roll with your herbalism kit.
Oh, okay.
19. Okay. So let me see. Okay. So yeah, you mess around with it. You waste a little bit of the material as you try to like discover its properties and work out what you can do with it. Finally, though, you do actually hit on a formula for a potion that you can brew this into. So you, let me see here. Or actually, not a potion, actually sort of a powder. So you have, let me see here. It's gonna be 0.1 pounds. It works out to by the time you're done. And it is going to be dust of hallucinatory terrain. So you can use it for a one-time cast of the hallucinatory terrain spell.
Is that like horse corpses?
Kind of. So you make natural terrain in a 150-foot cube in range look, sound, and smell like some other sort of natural terrain. It's not as powerful as the other spell. You can't change the tactile characteristics of the area, structures, things like that. But it's a relatively convincing illusion.
So if there was a weird cavern with one bridge connecting two areas, I could make it look like there was another bridge or something.
Let me see here. So manufactured structures, equipment, and creatures within the area aren't changed in appearance. So it would still look like there's a bridge there, but you can
Could I make it look like there's a second bridge that's not really there? I was just thinking of a way to try trick people to like run into empty space and fall to their death.
Right. I guess what I'd encourage you to do is just Google the spell while I'm doing this for other people, and you can get a sense of what you can do with that. Cool.
I'm on it.
All right. As for the other thing, is there anything in particular that you're looking to write to Anya? Like, would you like to narrate anything in particular?
It's mostly about the travels, and I would trade Kane for her companionship any day.
Okay. Give me either performance or persuasion, your choice.
Let's see what's the better. Not that always. Oh, they're the same.
Okay. It's heartfelt. All right, cool.
Butter panties aren't drenched. I get it.
Well, that depends on how favorably disposed she is to you in the first place.
That's true. Very true. Who knows what she's up to these days?
Yeah, who knows?
She could be dead.
Damn it, Casey. Shut up. Who's to say? Who's to say?
Yeah, who is to say? Looks at Casey suspiciously.
All right. I do have a place I want to drive to, so I'm going to go ahead and hop to the next person now.
You're behind the wheel.
Using your 10 days for anything in particular?
Just hanging out with Zayna?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Remembering his daughter's name. Gotta love it.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it really has.
Zayna and Julie by proximity. At some point, Kate acknowledges, he's like, so, I made that big speech and stuff, but I didn't think, I figured this should have wrapped up faster, or you wouldn't have been at this part of the trip. that I was kind of like awkward a bit. I feel like.
She shrugs and she says, "It's okay. Did the last thing go all right?"
Surprisingly simple. And once we found the god, that made things far easier.
She nods. Found a god?
Yeah, they had a god in like this little cube or whatever it was, Casey, a crystal.
Yeah, it was like an amber.
And then we let her out. It was Innis, when it says on this trip in the first place, that she helped us kind of destroy everything else.
She
Also, Dom was already attacking the fort, so that helped too. They were already preoccupied.
She
And then
shakes
Fallon-
her head and drops to a whisper and says, "Kane, the others say that you don't make sense, but I think it's actually just that the situations you wind up in don't make any sense."
I tell things how they went, and then Fallon summoned like an army of wolves. And
Wait, how many wolves are we talking?
I don't know, like at least 20.
It's a lot of wolves.
Am I an earshot of this?
Are you below decks,
you know
I
what?
guess?
I'll give you a chance to be. Just roll a d20.
Okay, I'm
Kane
trying to
doesn't
do
count.
that. 1d20.
It's a lot.
Damn it.
Yeah, no, you're not. Continue, Kane.
Then we take out the leadership, and then Dom shrank, sort of, and Alkadir came by and took him away. And I was right. Dom was gonna try to steal the messages from us later. But Khalid still wants to go back for him, and I'm just like, nope, I ain't doing that. And
Thule has been sitting a bit of a distance away with Zaina on her leg sort of closest to you. She shuffles the baby over to the other leg, slides up closer to you, and looks at you very close and says, "Kane?"
yeah,
"Shut up." And then she kisses you.
okay. Kane turns purple. Let's just fade to black here.
Sounds good.
I would like to see this and be like, oh my god, he's not breathing.
All right, Colleen.
Just compressions.
Are you using your 10 days for anything in particular?
I don't have anything specifically concocted at the moment.
Okay. It can be just talking to someone as well. You don't have to, once again. I'm
I have
happy
an
to move
idea.
on. But
I have an idea for you.
Okay.
Like you keep going in and out of your other planely realm with your
oh no.
and every time you like come out, you're like, you guys are too crazy. I'll be back in a little while.
I love it.
Door.
Love the flavor.
It's like confetti falls out of the room and it's like
Oh my
you're
gosh.
too much.
I'm gonna make my own hyperbolic time chamber and just have a bunch of like delayed fireballs in another room, and
They're falling forever and you just drop
Alright.
them.
So Colleen is just experimenting with things, keeping her mind just sort of keeping yourself occupied then
yeah.
as the time passes. Alright, sounds good.
Hyperbolic stranger chamber.
So a number of days pass. And for the past few days, now a bright sun has shone above you and a cool wind has pushed you steadily along. Like, honestly, the most pleasant weather since you left Einangrun. But then, as you approach your destination, and Kane, you make the trip up to the bridge to help Oscar guide the ship in.
That way.
The skies cloud over, and a cold, misty rain envelops you. And for half a day, you follow the crimson thread. And finally, as the sun just begins to dip below the horizon, you spot the shore in the distance.
Huh? Sure. Oh, we're back. I expected more. I don't know. Yeah.
Right.
Going
So, just FYI, Y'all are sort of sailing in from this direction.
I forgot about this. Guys,
Oh, here.
Oh yeah, right.
I had to scroll down to understand.
So Ossiprin, as you get close to the shore, Ossiprin speaks to you, Kane, and says, "The shoals are pretty treacherous in these parts. I recognize the shore. We're on the south of the island. It'll be best if we wait until morning to make for the shore, I think."
whatever you say.
You let down the anchor and sleep a fitful night aboard the ship, full of anticipation.
Do I see tentacles in the distance when you arrive?
What's to come. So as you approach the shore the next morning, it actually surprises you how little of it you can make out clearly. At first, you think this is just a trick of the waning light and the darkness, but the darkness that soon envelops you does little to dispel the idea. As you grow very close to the shore, you realize the truth. There's perhaps half a mile of rocky shore that seems fit enough for your landing, but as you look out all around you, you see an empty void. You all stand in silence for a moment before finally Tuli speaks and simply says, "Is it just me, or does something seem distinctly not right?"
That would be the work of the tentacles, I think.
She looks back at you and grimaces and nods. At this point, Colleen...
Woo!
Just FYI, we'll go back into character in a moment, but I just want to remind you, because I put the chances very low that you remember this after all this time. When last you were in that the ritual chamber in Tofferth's area, you found sort of a side room that had a bunch of spell scrolls in it, and you actually picked up a scroll of teleportation circle along with a sigil sequence to take you back to the ritual chamber.
I do not recall that, but I remember leaving Fabrizio guarding.
You did also leave Fabrizio. So
You can
anyways,
teleport us.
return to character.
I like that.
All right, so
2 pets in the party.
how long did it take us last time to get to Toffer's Mountain? I guess we have Toffer's with us.
Multiple
Hey,
days.
Toffer's.
And
How
we
long-
had to fight the manticores, so no thank you.
Hey, Toffer's, could you fly us up to your mountain?
He looks up and says, "In theory, yes. In practice, that is quite the imposing landscape in front of us."
I mean,
I had to look up if teleportation circle is different from teleport. It is.
it'd be better than walking, right?
Yeah, so also remember there's a teleportation circle in that little room. He says, "I suppose."
Now I don't know if I want to leave Zaina and Tuli here, though. I don't know if taking them to the... Like, it seems like it'd be dangerous to leave him here. It'd be dangerous to bring him along.
Well,
How many
let's
people
just
and or zombies can I teleport?
everyone goes.
As many as you can fit into the circle.
Okay, because the teleportation circle won't open on this.
Oh. Yeah, basically it's just you have to scroll a rune sequence and then you can teleport anyone in the circle. And it's
You also do it twice. Just don't go through
it's
yourself.
a 10-foot diameter circle, so you can probably all crowd in there.
Well,
Fallon says, everybody goes. I don't want to leave any traitors behind. I don't trust this one. And he points at Zaina.
You imagine Graves and grabs his finger. It'll be rough.
Let's teleport.
Tovrith can't... What was that, Colleen?
Alright. Oh.
Shortcut. I know a shortcut.
You know, a shortcut
It just occurred to me that I know a shortcut.
to the mountain?
Through the mountain.
What sort of shortcut? Is it safe?
A magical shortcut.
Way under the mountain. Is it your cousin's city?
A secret tunnel.
Secret tunnel.
Secret tunnel. Secret tunnel.
What the hell are y'all talking about?
Yeah.
You ever watched Avatar? The Last Airbender?
No.
Well,
Well,
you
if
gotta watch
did,
that.
Yeah. So now we figured out what you need to watch.
Yep.
But yeah.
You watched Total Recall, whatever other movies were missing, and you watched Avatar: The Last
Alright.
Airbender.
So
Watch parties. Watch parties.
let me see
Woo!
here. So Tirsa will actually speak up. Clean. What is it you're referring to? I'm sorry.
Well, why not just teleport, right?
She looks at you and says, well, a normal teleportation, like I could do, carries a bit of risk.
Oh no, I know where we need to go. I just like get out some chalk and start scrawling.
She looks down. Oh, all right. And yeah, over the next minute or so, Colleen finishes like scratching out a bunch of runes on the rocky ground.
I just look at while she does that. I look at Tirsa. What's happening? I'm confused.
Teleportation circle. It's
It's-
like it's like a teleportation, except harder, except you can't miss.
So there's no risk.
Pretty much, no.
That's perfect. And I
Talking about
can't
it,
think
like, oh well, you know, I just saw the sequence once when we happened to pass by, and just like,
yeah, Tirsa leans over. To clarify, Kane, there's no risk as long as she gets the sequence right.
Colleen, don't fuck it up.
I think it might have been this, or
And I
maybe.
pat Zaina's head. Don't you kill him, Colleen.
Oh my gosh.
Well, if half of you ends up somewhere else, well, that part
I
wasn't
will
coming to
find
hell with me anyway.
I will find you. You won't see me coming.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, so Colleen finishes scrolling out the circle. You all gather inside. Colleen, any final words before you fire off the spell?
Well, if this doesn't work, we'll all meet again some other day, or I'll keep your pieces. At least I'll be fine.
I hug Zaina.
At least I'll be fine.
And with that, the spell goes off. You all
Valid
experience.
looks extremely apprehensive.
You all experience an odd sort of sideways twisting sensation. You see a kaleidoscope of various colors, orange and green and blue, rush past you. And for a moment, you're disoriented, and then you open your eyes, and you all find yourselves crowded.
In the back of a wagon cart. Oh, you're looking up.
You're finally awake.
Best campaign ending.
It's the longest Skyrim troll in the history. Oh my gosh. All right. So yeah, you all wake up in a small back room in Tavred's castle. And actually, you know what? Let me go ahead and represent everyone who is here. So let me see.
Who is that?
That's Honel.
Oh yeah.
You haven't seen his.
Remember I asked it. I was gonna guess
in
Honel.
a long time. Yeah. I don't have a special token for Ossicrin, so I'm just gonna go with a generic dwarf.
Yeah, one for Zaina.
Can I have like 1 minute?
No, I realize I don't. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull out Coolies.
Well,
Run, Fallon.
you have 1 minute or Radiclus is gone to get his Zaina token. Go. That's Tuli's token?
Yeah.
I put you very different.
Oh.
I did too.
Well, I mean, I can only like she can be different in your mind. There are only so many good pieces of artwork for a fire genasi.
I thought his skin was like gray for some reason.
That's kind of grayish. But again, it's not like I commissioned art for this. So that was just the best token I could find online.
That was your first mistake. You should commission art for everything in the campaign.
Oh my god. Let me see here.
Should have known that it was going to go the distance
I need Tavrith.
with your solid core 3.
Dump.
I don't have Piotric, but that's not this token isn't at all appropriate. It's Quizmilligus's old one from before I commissioned art, but I'm just gonna use it anyway.
Don't remember that token at all.
And let me see here. What's a halfway decent token to use for what's her face? Fiona.
The one from Shrek.
Yeah. Okay. This again isn't at all accurate, but it's just the first semi-decent one that I found. Like, her hair is black for one thing, and this woman's isn't, but we're just gonna roll with it. Alright, and I don't have a baby token, but you know what? The people... I'm gonna see if I find anything on the first search.
D&D baby.
Oh my gosh. At such time as you, like, see this recording, pictures of babies for, like, D&D or fantasy stuff are creepy, man.
Don't you pick
you know what? Actually, here we go. I'm just going to use an actual human baby. I'm gonna break that wall just this once, and I've got a reasonable Xena character token. Just a sec.
Well, everyone, we made it, and no one's missing a limb. So, good job,
Was that
everyone.
a risk?
Well, maybe I've never done that before.
What? Don't risk my baby.
Alan looks at Kane and says, "It's okay, Kane. You're going to be fine. No one will notice."
What? Notice
It's
what?
fine. It's fine. Barely
Nope.
noticeable.
Kane starts counting limbs.
All right, so to go ahead and remind you of the scene, you all appear in a familiar small room in the back of a cave. It's lit by a pair of lanterns and filled only with a small desk that has a pile of scrolls on top of it, and also an engraved plate of platinum, actually. Aside from, and of course there's the circle that you're standing in. Aside from the crackle of the lanterns, the room is entirely silent. And then you all hear a familiar voice, or rather, you realize you didn't actually hear it out loud, but you did hear it as it says, "You're back!" And the door whooshes open. A familiar Quaddle rushes through the door. Half tackling, and Colleen, you sway backwards as Fabrizio rushes into you and sort of wraps around your shoulders in a sort of embrace.
Fabrizio, everyone. It's been a while.
Hey, Fabrizio!
Hey!
He disentangles himself from Colleen and steps
High
back from
fives,
you all
everybody.
and says, welcome back. He looks around, and I see that you've brought a number of visitors.
Well, it seems a little bit faster to teleport, so here we are.
Right. So, all friends, he pans around the room with his gaze.
Everyone here is friendly.
Oh, all right. Well then, welcome to all of you. I'm sure we'll have time for introductions in a bit, but he looks back at you, Colleen. To be honest, I'm just glad to see you back safe, and, well, frankly, the creation spirits aren't much for company. They've sort of been focused elsewhere, so I'm actually kind of just happy to have others back. Although, he thinks for a moment, there have actually been a few other visitors as well, who it might be good to show you to at some point.
They're still here.
Yes, but I should take you out to the ritual chamber first. There's visitors aren't generally allowed there, after all. And he looks around. There's more space. You'll all be more comfortable. Please, please. And he guides you out of the little room that you're in. So you all exit into a circular room. And to remind you, at the center of this room is a triangular obelisk of polished white stone with 3 pale gems of pink, yellow, and blue shining from it. Around that is etched a pentagon. And actually, as you enter the room, Kane, the ring on your finger flares with color, and 3 of the torches flare into light. So now the colors of all the chromatic dragons are represented in the middle ring. And in the outer ring, a series of bare sconces line the obsidian walls, the intended places of the vestiges of Alkadir. And as you're walking out, Fabrizio has continued to talk. He says, yeah, I mean, one person who's here is just Liriana. You'll remember the monk who held the green dragon spirit. Remarkably patient, but I fear the boredom might even be getting to her at this point. As for the others, well, I'll introduce you when we get back to the palace. For now, though, and as you step fully into the room, so you see the room as it is. For now, though, he looks back at you. Did you finish what you set out to do?
Well, I think so. We've got
all the dragons.
All the stones, all the dragons, and all of the vestiges.
All right, then. Well, I'll stand back, I guess. Let me know if I can help, but... Well, you're the ones who know what's going on.
Do we, though? I think we just kind of make it up as we go.
Don't we all?
Like, start tinking objects together.
So once again, to remind you of the scene, you're in a circular room. There's sort of like, I think I said there was like writing on the ceiling, but you've got the 3 creation stones in their place, the 5 torches lit up representing the spirits of the chromatic dragons, and then finally on the outside of the ring are 7 bare sconces that are meant to hold the vestiges.
I want to go caress Lacidel.
Like the rock?
The rock.
Okay. You do so. You know what? This isn't really the right check, but I'm going to go with it anyway, because it kind of feels like the spirit of it. Roll animal handling.
Oh, man.
Kane's just going to give Colleen like a...
You don't have that kind of relationship.
Look.
Yeah, I know, but you're basically petting him, so that's what I'm going to go with. Okay, yeah, you do that.
A little awkward.
Colleen?
Kane?
Why are you petting rocks?
It's Lacidel. We haven't seen them in so long.
Why are you petting godlike beings?
He's been with me forever.
I don't think you're supposed to pet them, though.
Near a century.
Hypnotic dog.
It's still something that I've held with me always.
Okay. I asked the ring lady, so do I gotta do anything? Or are we good?
She says, actually, I don't know more about this place than you do.
Oh. Is Fabrizio still here?
As you look back, she says, though, if you want my advice, those walls look as if they were meant to hold something.
I meant for like the dragon
stuff.
spirits.
Colleen, put your
Oh,
vestige
no, that's
on
already
the wall.
taken care of itself. You're pretty much good.
Colleen,
Alright.
Actually,
Colleen,
And since
put your
I don't
vestige on
have
the
any
wall,
vest-
Colleen.
actually, the voice says, Kane, actually, as a matter of fact, and you feel the ring loosen just a little bit around your finger and slide freely. And you realize that you could, in fact, take it off if you wanted to, which you actually were incapable of doing previously.
Oh.
And just as you realize this, the ring tightens up just a bit again, and she says, unless, of course, you don't want to leave me.
You seem cool.
All right. It loosens back up again anyway. And at this point, mind you, like, it's just fitting pleasantly, whereas before it was a little tight.
Like Kane's leaves the ring on. Alright, well, since I don't have any vestiges, Colleen, Fallon, put the vestiges in their places.
Go ahead, Colleen.
Since you two have
I
all
only
the
have
vestiges.
one.
You start.
You start. I like this thing.
You start.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, what about me not wanting it with vestiges? One of you start.
6 of them.
You
It's
start,
safe.
and I'll go.
But the cape. I like the cape.
It goes on the wall.
Or maybe you could have asked Alkadir to let you to give you his ability to keep using it without consequence.
That's a good idea, Kay. Next I see him, I'll ask him.
Then you end up like Dom in like 100 years.
Well, it's a possibility. I will reluctantly pull the cape out of my bag and approach the whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, you look
Gaunts.
about, and finally your eyes settle on it's sort of wall mounted, a pair of silver hooks that it drapes neatly around.
But I could just wear it, and we could just pretend that it's on the wall.
Yeah, I don't think you could do that. It's still summon the gods, so
Well, if I use the cape to make a real fake,
just leave the cape on the hooks clean. Maybe after.
harass Palin, this is my precious.
I got to push you into some magma.
Some red hot magma.
And look at Fallon. Your turn.
Is one not good enough? Hello? Speaking to the
You're all
air.
supposed to be on there.
Yeah, nothing happens, Fallon.
Stop talking to the air, Fallon. You know damn well you gotta put them all down.
So Fallon pulls out the amulet of foresight
Mm-hmm.
and finds the right place for it.
Yep. There's sort of a setting that's clearly meant to hold it.
And then he pulls out the chalice of prosperity and finds the place for it.
Yep, there's sort of a little platform with walls around it that has sort of a circular groove that it settles down into.
Pulls out the gauntlet of suffusion and finds the place for it.
Yep, it has its own little mount.
Pulls out the crown of allure
Mm-hmm.
and looks at it for a second and then puts it where it goes.
Yep, it has its own little display stand.
What's okay? Then he pulls out the axe of sundering,
Beheads.
heps it a couple times, couple quick swings for fun, and then puts it on the wall.
Give me a wisdom save.
Oh, come on! It was just practice swing.
There it is.
It was a practice. It was a
Well, you
practice
went
swing.
and you sundered someone.
Did it go? Okay.
Ooh.
A thought occurs to you as you heft the axe. You don't know what's going to happen to all of this stuff. Like, you could be giving this up for good. And don't you really deserve this after everything you've been through? You hesitate.
Okay, am I down to my last item, Casey? I think I am.
I think you got everything aside from the axe. So yeah, this is the last one. So you all see Fallon hesitating.
Well,
the
that
axe.
was the axe was the next to last one.
Oh, that was the next to last. Okay, yeah, you're down to the last two.
Fallon finally pulls out the scepter of command.
Okay, you give up on that one for now.
And looks at it real hard. Said, and looks over his shoulder at Kane and says, "He barked like a dog, didn't he?"
The world will end if we don't. The entire universe.
Fallon hands it to Kane and says, "Fine, put it on the wall."
Kane puts it the wall. Wait, hold on. Kane looks at it. It's like, just he takes a second and be like, finally, they gave me a message. All right, I'll walk this.
Okay, yep. You walk over. There's sort of some rings that it slots into.
All right.
Story arc is complete. You got a message.
Yeah.
The axe, Fallon.
I already did that one.
No,
It's on the
you're
wall.
still holding it.
Oh, I am? Okay. What? This
am I?
axe?
Yes. You kind of started to put it on the wall, then you put it back and took out the scepter.
Oh,
Fallon,
this is
roll
my-
another wisdom save.
damn it. I thought I put it on the wall. I didn't realize this is what was happening. Okay.
No, you're going full Gollum here.
You feel for a moment a surge of anger towards Kane. He's pestered you about this for so long, and you've about had enough of his shit. But then you stop and realize that, no, wait, this is what you've been trying to do this entire time. You're overreacting to this. You calm down and you listen to him.
So he puts the axe on the wall?
Oh no, he's still holding it. Kane, give me insight.
Let him put the axe on the wall.
Learn how close you are to death.
Hey, I'm nimble.
Okay, so Kane, Fallon obviously like pokes fun at you and stuff all the time. But he just like there was a legit moment of anger as you were encouraging him to just like do what you've been trying to do this entire time. And you realize that he tamped it down, but you also realize it was there, and like suddenly you realize that no, this is actually a bit serious.
Are you okay, Fallon?
I'm fine.
Okay, let's all stay calm and put our vestiges on the wall.
Can the place for the vestige be right behind him?
Yeah, you're oh, right behind who?
Kane.
Oh, I mean, I would think that you would be the closest person to it, actually, because you went over there to put the axe on the wall, and then you gave something else to Kane, and he went somewhere else completely. So I think that, like, you're the closest to it.
Okay, fine. I was wanting to walk up to Kane like I was going to cut him with it and then put it behind him on the wall. For dramatic purposes.
I mean, yeah, I get it.
All right. Fallon lifts the axe up and puts the handle in his palm and balances it for a minute before he sets it into the setting, I guess, that would hold it, right?
Roll another wisdom save.
Really?
This is 20, Casey. Ah, come on, you got
What?
it. You got this, Fallon.
Is it because I did that with the hand thing? Oh my
I think it's
god.
just because you're like, because you used it to kill somebody. So now you like just don't want to give it up.
There is something
God damn it.
deep into your rational within you that does not want to give this up. This is what? This, like, to the extent that you have a birthright, you know, your parents were followers of Al-Qadir, at least so you thought. Like, after everything you've been through, this feels right for you to have this. But you do also realize through this, as Kane is talking to you, as you've tamped down your anger against him, that another part of you realizes that you're being irrational. So
how long is this
you realize that you yourself can't physically bring yourself to do it, but like you can communicate about this. Someone else could help you. You could let someone take it from you.
Casey, well, he's like, how long is he sitting there thinking about this?
I mean, this is all flashing within a few seconds, but you see him.
Okay,
you see him turn around, and you see him take it out, and then just like stop again.
Yeah, and then Kane's just gonna rush and grab it, and try to put it on the wall. Well, he's like,
okay. All right. When you do that, let me see.
This is the second time he said no.
Fallon, give me Fallon perception, Kane acrobatics. Okay. And also Kane sleight of hand. All right. Kane, you rush from behind Fallon, and Fallon, as you hesitate, you see Kane rush in from the corner of your eye and snatch the axe from you and deftly slams it into the wall. And at this moment, a couple things happen in quick succession. First, Fallon, the anger wells up from within you once again. Please give me another wisdom save.
Fallon, yes. Yes.
Damn it, Kane. I think you scratched it.
Okay, you save. You don't attack Kane.
Why do you also hide to not hurt me, but you will tear you just put it on the wall? Kane can take it.
So instead, Fallon, you sort of swing in place, and again, Kane, you see that look of fierce anger on Fallon's face, but then within a second or two, it fades as he sort of gets control over himself. And you don't even have time to say anything before the room starts to react to the final vestige being put in place. An intricate pattern of brilliant white light flares from the runes etched into the ceiling, connecting the artifacts with a spider's web of light. Kane, the chromatic ring dissolves from around your finger.
Ring lady!
As Kalea, the spirit of the ring, fully materializes near the obelisk at the room's center. Her expression is uncharacteristically serious. She wears a modest black dress trimmed with white and a red sash around her waist. She lays a hand on top of the... Well, and actually, you know, just to complete it, I'm going to go ahead and say that she also has a blue necklace and green earrings. Why not? She lays a hand on top of the obelisk, and energy floods from the artifacts through the torches and into the obelisk itself. The three creation spirits, Kuril, Cenarion, and Lacidel, all appear before you. Lacidel smiles, Kuril stares into the distance, and Cenarion solemnly looks up towards you. Cenarian is actually the one who speaks. It's good to see you all again. It appears
Can't wait.
you've gathered everything that's required. Would you like to invoke the treaty and gather the gods of Anangru? Well, and actually, he would say the gods of Gavilan.
Can I pee first? I got it. I didn't think I had this. I'm nervous about the gods, and now my bladder is big.
He smiles at you and says, "It will take some time for them to manifest. You should have a good few hours." Well, actually, no. What he would say is actually, it will take a day and an hour for them to manifest. You will have time.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, let's get this party started.
Very well. The three creation spirits sort of gather side by side, and looks like they're about to start something. When Lacidel actually hesitates, it looked like they were actually like joining hands for something. He pulls his hand away just a bit and says, "It's good to see you all again." And in particular, he looks at Colleen. I'm sorry, did you say something?
My heart.
He joins hands with his sister, and they actually are just completely silent, but you see motes of multicolored energy floating up from about them. Kalea strides to a place on the opposite side of the pillar, sits down, and adopts a look of concentration. And you all just sort of watch for a moment as Fabrizio says, perhaps I'll guide you out for the time being.
How long does the ritual take?
He just said, 25 hours.
Oh, I thought that's just how long it took him to show up. I thought it was more just kind of like you just blew a horn, like, and the god showed.
Well, actually, you're right. I made a bit of an assumption there. But the truth is that I don't know, and it looks like they're still doing something.
Okay. Well, let's go. Any idea what happened to my ring? Is it gone forever?
I couldn't say.
That means I'm only down to one voice in my head. Woo!
This entire game is just like an extended allegory about Kane dealing with all the voices in his head. Alright, alright, let me see here. There is kind of a point that would be good to get to. Are you guys okay to go a little bit later, or do we need to end it? It is around the time I would normally end.
Go, go, go.
No objection from me.
Okay. Yeah, so Fabrizio guides you all back into the palace proper. Let me quickly remind you of the general layout. I'm just kind of going to be narrating as I go. Actually, you know what? Okay, that's what I'll do. I might end it a little bit sooner. I don't want to rush this next part, but this will be good. Let me see here. So Fabrizio guides you all out into the courtyard. Actually, you know what? Let me do this real quick. I'm gonna copy some tokens over. There we go. And I don't need these. Cool. All right. And so this is a bit of a stable where Tavrith, who shifts into his draconic form, as he walks out. Keeps the gallows door. These are earth elementals who he used as guards of the place. Amongst them, seemingly tending them, actually, if you will, is Lyriana, the elf who you rescued so long ago. And as you all walk out, she looks up at you fairly calmly. You see her hand that's still sort of green and scaly and clawed, the one that she lost before, that regrew in the form of the green dragon. Same her ear. They do appear to have dulled a bit, perhaps because of the absence of the dragon spirit. She looks out at you and recognizes a few of you. Kane, Fallon, Colleen, I recognize the three of you. Actually, she apologizes. She stops and says, apologies, where are my manners? My name is Lyriana. Welcome, everyone. I was not expecting so many people.
Hey. Sorry, Leo's not here.
Oh, no worries. Do you know what's become of him?
You know, it's been a while. I forgot. What did happen?
He's in the Feywild.
Yeah, that's right.
Bill?
Yeah, he didn't leave with us, so like he's.
Yeah, remember
Last
you
we saw him, he
like
was in the
rescued him from Mab, or
Yeah.
and now he's in the Autumn Feywild with Quiz's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Okay. He's in the Feywild. We rescued him from one person, but he's still there.
Right. Well, so he's all right then?
As oily as ever.
She pauses for a moment and says, you know what? I'll ask for the details later. She looks at you all. If you all want to clean yourselves up, feel free to make use of the palace. And then she stops, noticing Tavrith. Actually, I probably shouldn't be speaking for, and Tavrith says, it's fine, do what you will.
Dibs on the bath first, because I have a child I must clean.
Alright.
And I go to give Zaina a bath.
So you all enter. I'm just gonna follow the three of you, or four of you for the moment. As you make your way inside, you do hear a bit of a commotion from the kitchen. Does anyone wish to investigate?
Sure.
You can make it a bath.
Kane rushes straight off to clean up. Fallon comes over and opens the door, looking into the kitchen. And roll, I guess, for recognition is just... You know what? Roll wisdom.
I would have to be in on this kitchen party. I'm just so tired.
Yep. You look in, and you see a goblin, which is not what you expected.
Fuck it up.
Just rummaging about, you see him chowing down on just sort of a random assortment of food that he seems to have pulled off the shelves and not really made much of an attempt to cook in any meaningful way. As you enter, he pauses and looks up at you. You look across at him. A look of... And actually give me insight.
Sorry, I have to mouse stuff.
Okay. A look of concern verging into fear, and then finally ending in resignation crosses his face as he looks at you and says, All the way at the end of the world. And I run into you again. All right, what do you want with me? And you recognize the sassy goblin.
I thought it was a kobold.
And that's where we end for tonight.
Next week, it's the kobold for some reason.
All right.
Well,
Is
I
that
thought
the
we-
one from where we got Matilda originally?
That was a kobold, right?
Good night, Oh, no, it was a goblin. Good night, everybody.